Okay, when I'm thinking about what advice I would give to anyone who either wants to become an entrepreneur or suddenly finds themselves on an entrepreneurial journey, I would say the first one is be prepared for the unexpected. Don't beat yourself up when something goes wrong. Just try something different. Entrepreneurship is always an experiment. So as long as you can view everything that you do and all of the choices that lie before you as you're starting and running a business, it can just be really fun, and it can be a source of discovery instead of pressure. But prepare for not everything to work perfectly. I think another really important piece of advice that I would pass on to somebody is don't take help for granted and accept it when it's offered. No one can be everything in their own business. So when a mentor approaches you and offers you support or help or advice, really find a way to accept it. Allow the abundance to flow to you. Don't hesitate when someone's offering you some kind of abundance, whether it be actually paying you well for your services or offering you a piece of advice or even support. Accept it. Don't think that you have to do it all on your own, and whether or not that makes you successful. We're all part of the same system, and be willing to accept other threads in the web. Adaptability. I think it's really important to be able to kind of go with the flow, and one of the powers of small business is that you can turn on a dime, whether it's to suit the marketplace or to change your services, to adapt to what people are really looking for or willing to pay for, as well as it's a changing environment every day. I've experienced a measure of fear probably every single day that I have been an entrepreneur. I would say my biggest source of fear, though, is emptiness, and I guess that would be a combination of, being lonely and also being pointless, which really drives me to always make sure that I'm, evolving from a point of need, and from a point of desire. Definitely that people find a way, everyone, not just, people I want people in the royal sense, to find what fulfills them and to be able to do it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to find a way to turn their passions into an income, but they absolutely need to find a way to turn their passions into a big part of their life. If they have to make their income another way, that's fine. But you need to have something that fulfills you every day, something that makes you want to wake up on purpose. That's what I want out of life. That's what I have, and that's what I want for everybody around me. To be able to just have something that beats their heart. I guess I would define success as enough of everything in your life to the point where you can actually give something back, whether that be your own creativity, if you have enough income that you can actually contribute something to other people, most definitely that you get to a point of being able to overflow a little bit. That to me is success. Before that, it's just survival. You can't contribute anything, you can't make an impact if you have nothing overflowing, if you have nothing more than what you need. So to me, that's success, having more than enough of something so that you can contribute it elsewhere. It has a lot to do with being able to see the vision beyond today. You need to be able to see where you're going, the bird's eye view of what your success would look like. Otherwise, you have no idea if you've achieved it or not. You really have no gauge for how close you are. So learn how to develop that vision, and that's more than just setting goals. It's more than just having priorities and to-do lists. It's really about having that grand vision, that overarching idea, the concept of where you could go. The list of things that aren't my hobbies would probably be a little bit smaller, but I really like to craft and create things. So I actually have an art studio, and I draw and make jewelry and host workshops. And one of my other very passionate things now that I've gotten to the point where I have a little bit more to give back is actually entrepreneurship mentoring. There's nothing in the world I like more than helping people make a living and still be happy. Like I said before, I don't think necessarily that you have to make a living doing what you love, but you definitely need both of those things. You need to do what you love, and you need to make a living. And if you're having trouble with either of those, there's nothing that I would like more than to help you figure it out and get past it. It's funny trying to answer the question of what makes me happy, because everything that I want to say kind of sounds like a cliche. It really does make me happy to impact other people and see them become happier. I would say that's probably the biggest, is making a difference, a positive difference in other people's lives, whether it be my employees or my clients or my friends or my, the people that I mentor. And other than that, I think in general, happiness is a choice. I feel like, things can add to your happiness, but you are the one who needs to choose whether or not you're going to be happy today. And that's as simple as it boils down to. Everything else just can kind of contribute to that happiness or enhance that happiness, but happiness in general is a choice. And it's one that I try to make every day. A lot more in the beginning. There were a lot more sacrifices, it felt like, in the beginning. We went without vacations because we couldn't really get away. We went without weekends because that's when clients wanted to pay us to work. We worked long hours and didn't really have a lot of luxury money, and there were just sacrifices on every level. Sometimes I was just really, really tired, but if the work was there, we did it. So there were a lot of sacrifices, and I would say that there were also a couple of different places where there was an opportunity cost, where we felt like maybe we could have taken an opportunity that sounded pretty good, but we wanted to keep investing our time and energy and loyalty into the business to see what we could create together. And that was a sacrifice back then, kind of passing up opportunities that seemed really good because we wanted to see what we could create. I see it being larger and more graceful, a little bit more refined. What I would really like to see is, that we make a bigger impact as far as our education of people about what it is to be green and make more ecologically minded choices. And I would also just like to be making a bigger impact, lots more clients, lots more employees, and possibly even maybe franchise opportunities. I think that we provide a really beautiful service, and if I could find a way to bring that to more people, it would be an offering I would be really proud of. Where I see myself developing as an entrepreneur, besides Beloved Earth, is most definitely as a creative business coach. I love helping people with the process of creating and operating a business that they can really love. I mean, it's easy to go through a book and write a business plan. That's not how some people think. Coming up with strategy and accountability is sometimes really hard for creative people, and I feel a little bit blessed that I seem to kind of walk a road between the two. And sometimes all it takes is to be able to say it out loud to somebody and have them respond and hold you accountable, and that's something that I feel really, really passionate about. There were a couple of people who really stepped up for me early on, as a mentor, and gave me a lot of confidence and a lot of support. And I want to be that for other people. That's my dream. That's how I hope to evolve as an entrepreneur, is teach what you want to learn really, really, really well. And I've learned a lot in this journey, and I feel like I could learn even more by, accompanying people as they explore on their own. So the thing that I am absolutely the most excited about for my future and the future of my business and the future of everyone that I come in contact with is just making the world a better place through our contribution, making a true and lasting and positive impact. And one of my favorite quotes from one of my most respected people from history is "Be the change you wish to see in the world" by Gandhi. And that's what I'm trying to do, and that's what I would encourage everyone else to try to do.